Tyler?
Yep.
What's the delicious debate today?
What is the most important adjustment that the Oilers must make in Game 3?
They have to defend off the rush. Like, I don't know what's going on, but the Avalanche are basically moving up as a 5-man unit right now, and the odd-man rushes are insane. They're basically walking into the zone free to do whatever they want with all kinds of time and space, and the Oilers just don't seem to have an answer for it right now. Goals off the rush have been a massive problem in this series so far through 2 games, so I don't know what you got to do. Like, I'm not saying to fall back in a 1-3-1 or something like that, but you have to consider different changes to get Colorado not flying through the neutral zone as quickly as they have, because it's been a problem.
Yeah, I agree with that one. They need to find a way to defend off the rush a little bit better and also attack off the rush. Like, Connor McDavid has had 2 rushes that stand out to me. One where he tried to go through Devontae's legs and that didn't work, and the other one, Cale Makar just lightly poked it off his stick into the corner. So, like, when McDavid isn't generating off the rush, you know there are problems going on because no one else is going to be doing anything off the rush. So I agree with that. I also think you need to, and this maybe goes hand in hand with that, you need to adjust how you're working your blue line if you're Jay Woodcroft. Darnell Nurse can't play the minutes you're asking him of. He can't handle these assignments. You need to put Darnell Nurse on the third pairing with Tyson Barrie. You need to play Brett Kulak, who's been your best defenseman in these playoffs. Yep. He's got to play with Cody Ceci on the top pair.
I would also say, and I've said it for a long time now, the Oilers need to respect the blue lines here a little bit. They're flying the zone early, trying to get out. They're not coming back hard enough. They're not getting pucks in over the blue line deep into the Avalanche's zone. I just don't think the Avs have had to defend a whole lot. There's been no cycles. I just think that the Oilers can do a better job of getting pucks over both blue lines. Dan, what do you think?
I agree with what you guys are saying. If I'm going a step further, I think this team just needs to settle down. Every time that they either score a goal in Game 1 or they get a goal scored against them in Game 2, it just seemed like they were all caught just staring off into the abyss right afterwards. And Colorado is an opportunistic team, and they're a team that will pour it on if you're not ready to go. And so for me, I know that they were being outplayed and outmatched throughout the entire game, but you look at that one little group of 5 minutes where the Oilers were just caught on their heels, and after that they were never coming back in that one. So for me, they just got to settle down with the emotional roller coaster that is these playoffs and is these Western Conference Finals.
Oilers looked nervous last night to me.
It was weird. Well, I would prefer the word overwhelmed.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, there was just so much. It felt like there was so much jitteriness, I suppose. Yeah, nervous maybe does make sense.
A little bit of the yips.
Yeah, like even that Puljujarvi chance, right? Like that's a golden opportunity, and it just fumbles off his stick and wide of the net, and it's like, oh man, like
Darnell Nurse had that one walking in. He tries to make a backhand. Francouz is obviously a right-handed catch, so the stick's on the other side. But like that's one of those ones where it's like you got to fire it, man.
Yeah.
Oilers need to simplify too, I think. They didn't test Francouz out really all that much last night at all.
What did they finish with? 24 shots? That's not good enough.
were-
And how many good scoring chances did they have in Game 2?
I was just going to say, I think most of them were either at his chest or at his pads.
Like, they had a couple early on I can think of in the first period, but outside of that, like, Francouz had an easy night. Like, yes, give him credit for the shutout. They were chanting his name, blah, 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 but, like, that's got to be one of the easier ones that he's had so far. Rick, what do you think? What's the biggest adjustment for you?
You got to get on their defenseman, man. It goes with yours there about them coming out the way they are. You got to get on their defensemen and not allow them to come out as a 5-man unit the way they have been. They have been owning that neutral zone, and if you can't own that neutral zone, you need to get on their defensemen and kind of stop their momentum that way.
Yeah.
Because they're flying by the time they get to our blue line.
Well, and they're doing it with numbers too. Like the amount of odd man rushes last night was driving me crazy.
They move the puck so well.
So
the transition game is so good, and they're fast. So you need to get on the defenseman and interrupt that first pass.
Yeah, and they like I said, I'm not expecting the Oilers to go to a 1-3-1 or anything like that. But like you got to find ways to get in front of bodies and slow them down in the neutral zone.
It's when you dump the puck and you got to change up the way you're dumping the puck, and it's just too easy for them to break out. I mean, other teams have done it to us in terms of preventing or trying to prevent Smith from coming out and stopping the way we break out. There are ways of handling this, and they just got to figure it out and get on those defensemen.